Hi, kids. So today we're going to talk about finding the area of irregular shapes. You guys actually had a little mini lesson the other day over this, but it's kind of a hard concept. So I just wanted to make sure you guys understood it, and we are gonna do some problems, and then I'm gonna have a little assignment for you guys to do on your own. But here's the cute version of me. You guys been seeing my Bitmojis? Aren't they cute? Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next slide. Okay, so they're just asking for the total area. Now remember, when we find area and we have rectangles or squares, we can multiply length times width. Notice how, is this a rectangle or a square? It's not. So when we have irregular shapes, irregular means not regular, we can still do length times width, but it's going to be a little bit different. What we're going to do is we are going to make them into squares and rectangles. So we're going to draw lines. Now, you can do this different ways. I'm going to show you two different ways to do this problem. So I could draw my line here, and I could draw it horizontally. Okay, so if I do that, now I have my length and my width. I have a 1 times 1. Okay, what is 1 times 1? That's pretty easy. That's 1. So that little square, how did I know it was a square? Because I'm trying to make it, I know it was a square because the length and the width were the same. Remember, on squares, all sides are equal. Okay. Forgive my handwriting. I really need to get a better way to do this, but for now, you guys know what I mean. That means 1 centimeter squared, or 1 square centimeter. Okay. Now, what they're gonna do to kind of mess with us is give us some extra numbers. We don't need all these numbers for this bottom rectangle. So obviously I know I don't need the 1 and the 1 up here because I already took care of those with this square. Now, remember, I want to find my width and my length. So I need to know what this side is and what this side is. Okay, so I can multiply. So notice I have a 2. I'm going to need to use that 2 because that's talking from here to here. That's 2. From here to here is 4. Now, why is this 3 here? Because if this is 2, this should be 2. So this 3 is saying that from this very top to the very bottom here, that whole thing is 3. Now, if I multiply length times width, I don't need that 3 for this bottom rectangle. Okay, so that doesn't really matter. Okay, so we have 2 times 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. That is 8. Ooh, look at that pretty 8. Okay, square centimeters. This is much better than my other one. Okay, now we're not done yet because it said what is the total area. So what do you guys think we would do to find the total area? Total is one of our keywords we've been learning. We need to add up any area that we had. So I need to go 8 plus, uh-oh, it quit working on me. Oh no, technical difficulties. Okay, maybe I could do text. Okay, I want to do 8 plus, plus 1, and that equals, y'all know what 8 plus 1 is, that's 9. So my answer would be 9 square centimeters. Wrong sign. I don't know if I remember the There we go. Okay, 9 square centimeters. Remember when we're doing area, we are doing square centimeters or square units. When we're doing perimeter, we're not counting the squares, we're counting the lines, so we don't do the little 2 for those units. All right, let's move on to another one. And having a day, y'all. It is not wanting to cooperate. Okay, is it moving on? Yes. Now I have all my old stuff everywhere. Oh, clear. Okay, sorry. Okay, this is a different shape. This one's pretty easy. I just remembered I was going to show you a different way over here. I was going to show you that instead of doing a line vertically, you could do a line up and down. Instead of doing a line horizontally, you could do a line up and down vertically. So there we go. So instead of going across like I did, I could go down. Okay. We're just going to have to look at different numbers if I do it this way. Because now I don't want to multiply 1 times 1 anymore because this side is more than 1. So I wouldn't need this number this time. So I would do 1 times 3. 1 times 3 is 3. We're talking about square centimeters. Okay. Now, over here, this is where it gets a little tricky because this is still 2. I still need this 2, but from here to here is 4. I only need from here to here. So I don't want to do 2 times 4 because that would be this whole line and I don't want to go all the way over. I'm stopping right here. So what you need to do is kind of look at what your other measurements are. I know this long line is 4. I know from here to here is 1. Now what do we know about rectangles? We know that if the top is 1, the bottom has to be 1. Okay, so let's think about this. This little part is 1, but the whole thing is 4. So what would this missing part be? Think about part, whole. When we do strip diagrams, we have a missing part, we subtract. 4 minus 1 is 3. So I'm going to cross off the 4 so I don't get confused. And I'm going to put a 3 here. Okay, 2 times 3, length times width for area, that's 6 square centimeters. Okay, there we go. So this time I'm going to add 6 plus 3, that equals 9 square centimeters. Okay, so we still got 9 either way. Now the reason I would have, the first way probably would have been better is because when we went horizontally, we already had all of our measurements. This way we had a missing side, so it made it a little bit harder. Okay, let's move on. Maybe. Okay. This one's easy because really look for your length and your width, but we don't really have any extra numbers here. So if oh, it's not wanting to work. Okay. There we go. Sorry. If I just split it horizontally here, I have length times width, 5 times 3, that's 15. And then I have 4 times 2, and that is 8. And then you just need to add 15 plus 8 for your answer, for your total. So 15 plus 8. Okay, so remember we grabbed 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We can't forget our units. We have square centimeters. Okay, so our answer would be 23 square centimeters. You could do this vertically, draw your line vertically, but it's going to be a lot harder because you're going to have some missing sides that you would have to find first before you can multiply length times width. Okay, I wanted to show you this one because this one we could break it apart two different ways. And one way would give us 3 shapes. So if we split this up vertically with lines going up and down, so if I put one here and then I put one here, okay. So look, I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 shapes that I'd have to find the area for. Let's start here because I know that this is 2 and I know this is 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. So I know that area is 2. If this is 1 here, then what would be the opposite side? That would be 1 as well. So I have 2 times 1 again, which is 2. Okay, so I have 2 and 2. Now this is where it's going to get a little tricky. I know this is 3, but this side over here is 2. But look, this 2 only is talking about this part right here. I need to keep going down all the way. But remember, if this was 1, then this was 1. So really, for this whole side, we have 2 plus 1, which is 3. I hope that makes sense. It's kind of hard when I can't be there to show you guys, but I'm talking about this whole side. I have 2 here and 1 here. 2 plus 1 is 3. So this is actually a square here because I have 3 on top and 3 on the side. 3 times 3 is 9. And my very last step is to add up all my areas and find my total area. So we have 2 plus 9 plus 2. And what would that be? Remember to always start with your big number. My big number is 9. Grab 9. 9. And then I'm going to add 2. 10, 11. Add 2 more. Let's see, I stopped 11. 12, 13. Okay, so 13 square feet. Okay, that's my answer. Could we have done this another way? Yes. There would have been a different way to do this. You could have split it up horizontally with a line going across, and then we would have had a rectangle on top and a rectangle on bottom. This top one would have been easy because I have 3 and 2, 3 times 2, which is 6. Now the bottom one's going to be a little tricky because I know this is 1, but I do not know what this whole long side is. So you would have to figure that out. Always look, if you're trying to find a missing side, look at all the other sides that are going the same way. Like, see how this is going horizontally? Okay, this is going horizontally. That's a 2. This is going horizontally. That's a 3. Don't mess up on me. And this is going horizontally, and that's a 2. So I know that I should add 2 plus 3 plus 2 to get this long missing side on the bottom. Okay, so start at 3. That's my big number. I'm going to add 2 more. So grab 3, 4, 5, add 2 more, 6, 7. So I would label that side as 7 feet. Okay, and that's not my That's not what I'm going to write in the middle yet. That's just my missing side. So now I can multiply length times width. 7 times 1 is 7. Okay, now when I get to my answer, I want to add 6 plus 7. That equals 13 square feet. Okay. All right. So I hope that helps you guys on your paper today. Or I say paper, but your assignment, I should say, because it may not be an actual paper. And anyways, I miss you guys. Love y'all. Bye.